This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he is guiding me through this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, Andre the Man in White, Chad Welsh, Sean McGuire, Johnny and Laura Lewis, and Rikky Morrisette. We also want to thank and welcome Jan Just Wieser and Dan Sturgill to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. We also want to acknowledge Chandra Cutno, who increased their pledge over at patreon.com/The Wheel Weaves podcast. Thank you so much for your support and your generosity. It really means a lot to us. In this episode, we're talking about chapters 28 and 29 of The Fires of Heaven.
Yeah, so chapter 28 we have Trapped, and chapter 29 is Memories of Saldaea.
All right.
And I gotta ask you before we start here.
Uh-huh.
Did you think when you saw the chapter title, Memories of Saldaea, that we were gonna get something to do with, like, Perrin and Fael?
It crossed my mind.
Okay, because it was, like, the whole Saldaea
thing. It crossed my
thing.
mind, and then I read the first sentence, and I was like,
no.
Oh, shit, okay.
This isn't that.
This is not that. It's actually...
way worse.
Quite the opposite.
Have you ever seen Breaking Bad? Because,
we'll talk about it. Have you ever seen Scandal?
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
Okay, let's get into it.
That was my reference.
Nice.
You thought Breaking Bad?
I did.
Yeah. Similar.
Okay, let's talk to it when we get to that terrible, terrible scene.
Or we could just skip it.
No, we gotta talk about it. We gotta get, we gotta get into it, so. Okay, and for the fun fact for today, I got 2 words for you.
Yeah?
Dog robber.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dog robber.
Because, I read that, and I don't know.
Yeah?
And then also, Swan doesn't know. Nobody knows, except for Gareth frickin' Bryn.
Is it someone who watches your dogs so that they don't...
Nope.
Oh, that's what I assumed, and I just kept reading. I thought it was
Here, I'll give you a hint. It's U.S. military slang, the equivalent of the British slang term Batman. Does that help? Does that help? Because it didn't help me on the internet.
Thanks, internet.
Okay, so it's referring to an officer's personal valet or orderly, one step removed from a butler. So we're talking someone who cleans uniforms, runs errands, and scrounges for personal items. And the whole, dog robber thing, it still didn't really make much sense to me.
No.
Because, what? But it's kind of and from what I could gather, they're scrounging up scraps of whatever the officer needs. And, someone who'd go so far as to, steal scraps from a dog if that's what it takes to get what they need. Okay. It's kind of weird. It didn't really make a ton of sense.
No.
But
I thought for sure it was she can watch my dogs to make sure no one steals them.
Yeah, so it's doing all the little handyman stuff.
Well, that job sucks, so...
Yeah, so it's still terrible.
Out. Yeah.
But here we go. So it turns out there's a few phrases pulled from military slang that has worked its way into regular life too. So I got some good ones here for you.
Okay.
Military slang. So, first one, which is actually interesting, balls to the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because, you'd think it's something
balls
to do with,
wall.
Yeah. Balls, but that's not what
Testicles.
it is. It's not that. So this is the thing. It means going as fast as you possibly can, if you hadn't heard that before. And it's for military aviation, where pilots need to get their planes flying as fast as possible. And the control levers had balls on the end, so pushing the accelerator all the way out would put the ball of the lever against the wall of the cockpit. Oh. So balls to the wall.
Balls to the wall of the cockpit.
There you go. Okay.
Got it.
I don't have
I'll remember that one.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a pedal to the metal situation.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Now, these 3 are all acronyms: FUBAR, SNAFU, and TARFU. And they all mean the same thing.
Snafu's the only one I've heard.
Okay, so it means
a mess up.
Everything's terrible. Yeah, exactly. So, but they're all acronyms. So FUBAR is fucked up beyond all recognition.
Oh, good.
SNAFU is situation normal, all fucked up. And then TARFU is things are really fucked up.
Oh, so okay.
There's some good language you can use there.
That's fun.
Last one I got for you, and I'm just going to apologize ahead of time to any of our German listeners, anyone who speaks German, or anything like that, because this one has caught a lot of flack.
Okay.
And you've probably heard that phrase before, if you catch flack.
Yes.
Meaning that you're harshly criticized. So FLAC is an acronym for German Air Defense Cannons. And the German word for a German air defense cannon is a Fliegerabwehrkanonen. Fliegerabwehrkanonen.
And that's what flak is.
Flak, flak.
So to catch a lot of flak is to be hit by a German cannon?
Basically, so airmen flying through clouds of like dangerous shrapnel would catch a lot of flak.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like turned into harshly criticized, so it's bad. It's not good.
No.
Yeah.
And I actually have a fact for you later. Yeah. That's another vocabulary lesson.
Okay.
So this is a very interesting fun fact you're doing.
Just for the record.
People are going to be all like over our vocabulary lessons.
I was apologizing to the German audience because of my German. I can't.
Oh, yeah.
I can't do it, so.
Okay. That's what I figured. And then, did you say anything German?
Yeah, Flieger Abwehr Kanonen.
Oh.
It's all one word.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the German. It didn't.
Yeah, it's one word. It's like 20 letters long. I don't know.
You just have to say it like you're very angry.
Right.
That's how you speak German.
That is right. That's true. I heard. So, okay.
Shoot. Sorry.
Okay.
I'll also apologize
for
being offensive. Okay. So, let's get into this.
Yes.
Last time we were here, Swan and Min and that crew got to Saldaea.
Yes.
They did some Jedi mind tricks.
They did.
To convince the Aes Sedai to go to the Waste to find Rand.
Yep.
And to elect a new Amyrlin seat, and Swan wants it to be Moraine.
Okay.
And then at the end, Gareth Bryn rides into town.
Gotcha. Yes.
Good. Okay. So, chapter 28, Trapped, and we have the chapter symbol of the bull with the collar of roses, which is for Gareth Bryn.
Yeah, because we are finally
signaling our Gareth Bryn perspective.
Love it. I like this chapter. I like to see inside his head because he's a smart guy.
Yeah, and we picked up from where we left last time.
Yeah.
And that's interesting you call him a smart guy because he is so conflicted in his own head.
Oh, yeah.
About everything that's going on, and it's hard to decide if what he's doing is smart.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like the entire conversation we need to have, too, because he knows that what he's doing isn't, like, a good option, necessarily. But he knows that, he knows what's going on.
And he doesn't really have another option.
Yeah.
I don't think.
It's this or retirement, and, he's not taking retirement.
No, I think it's this or worse than retirement.
I was going to say, like, going back to, like, Core Springs.
No, I don't think the Aes Sedai are just going to let him mosey on back to Core Springs. Are you joking?
I'm talking about, like, before he entered the village, because he knows before he even gets in, he's like, I should have turned around as soon as I saw.
Yeah, but he knows they know he's there.
He knows that they know that he knows that they know he's there. So.
He knows that once he showed up here,
late.
It's way too late, and he only has one option. And all he does here is he at least lays out some ground rules.
That's true. He does get his way.
Yeah, sort of.
Sort of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get into it, though.
We gotta get there.
So, we pick up from where we left off last time. He is heading into Saldaea alone, and he recognizes that all these people here are Aes Sedai warders.
Yes.
And he basically thinks to himself, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
And what has Mara gotten herself into?
Yeah, and, notice that he's thinking about Mara.
Of course he's thinking about Mara.
It's that pair of eyes.
Yeah, it is. Which I'm still not quite sure
how
I feel about this one.
And you shouldn't know how you feel about it because it's like, what's going on here?
I actually am a little bit for it, and I'm trying to understand why I like this pairing.
Okay.
Like, I get that she is older, so it's not as strange as with the age difference type of thing.
Like, she looks young, but she's not young.
He doesn't know that. So I'm for the Swan Bryn connection. I kind of like that dynamic.
Okay.
But I'm a little thrown off by the Bryn liking Mara so much.
Okay, can I throw something out there? Just like, possibility of a platonic relationship forming from this?
No.
Really? Okay.
I mean, maybe. But, that's not where my mind goes.
Well, I know that's not where your mind goes, because your mind goes somewhere for everything.
Yeah, I guess the only saving grace really here for Gareth Bryn is that he's not attracted to her.
Right.
He's thinking about her eyes.
Fair.
Because her eyes are Swan's eyes.
He's pulling something out of his past.
He's not like, ooh, 17-year-old girl, excellent.
Right. Yeah. And I'd argue that they don't even look 17. So
no, I know. I'm just
either way.
I just made it worse for everybody. That's all. I just wanted to make it way worse.
If you're not uncomfortable yet, here you go.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, and also, just before we move on, Bryn notes that this is super weird because all these Aes Sedai are here on the border of Amadicia.
Yeah.
And so he's very thrown off.
Yeah, and Salador has been abandoned since the White Cloak War a long, long time ago.
Sure.
Sort of.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, then we get this warder who walks up to Bryn.
New Hell?
Right.
Newell?
Newell.
Newell? Newell,
probably.
Okay.
I don't think we pronounce the H in fantasy, Brett.
Oh, okay.
You forgot that rule.
Oh, right.
Lots of silent H's.
Newell.
Thrown all around. Yeah. So, he goes up to Bryn as he's coming into Saladar, and then this guy, Newell, addresses Bryn by name.
Yep.
And says, "Come with me, Bryn. People want to speak to you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that Bryn considers that Swan, like Mara, I guess, could be an Aes Sedai agent.
Yes.
So he's like, oh no. But it doesn't change the fact that they swore those oaths to me.
No, it does not. So Bryn gets led to the headquarters inn, and then he sees Min, or Serenla.
Yeah. Gotta get all these fake names in there.
Yeah. So. Who is surprised to see him.
Yes.
Like, Min's mouth, like, drops
and
open.
she's like, ah!
She's
turns
like,
her head
oh
down.
my god, what the fuck? And then he also notes Logain, who's just staring off at nothing.
And he's Dallin.
Right. And then he gets introduced to the 6 main Aes Sedai.
Yep.
And Swan and Lyanna are standing against the wall.
And all he can stare at is them still, so.
Yeah, because he's like, what are you guys doing? What's happening?
Yeah.
So Sheriam is the one who talks to him first, and she asks him to tell them why he's here.
Yeah, what's going on, bud?
Yeah. And Bryn's like, well, I was chasing these oath breakers. And then he notices the Aes Sedai have for sure already heard this story.
Yes.
So, like, good on Swan for recognizing that she should tell the truth here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And good on Robert Jordan for not recapping the entire story again.
You know what?
Yeah.
I didn't realize. Yes.
He doesn't even read. It's just like, and then Bryn told them what happened. There you go.
The
Boom.
end.
Done.
Okay. That is good for Robert Jordan. He gets a pat on the back for that one.
Yeah.
Good old attaboy.
Took like half a page out of the writing right there.
Yeah. All right. And then this is again where he thinks that Swan and Lyanna are probably definitely Aes Sedai agents.
Definitely, because like these are a bunch of Aes Sedai, and the girls are just like standing there. So.
But you're right, it does not change.
No, it doesn't
the fact
change.
That they are oath breakers.
And then you have the Aes Sedai who are like, well, technically they didn't say when they were going to serve. So
right.
Yeah.
You can't have them just yet.
Yes, later, but not now.
It sounds like you could have them later. So now we get some of Bryn's contradicting thoughts.
Right, yeah.
And actions, his back and forth.
Him being smart, but then like saying dumb things.
Kind of.
Or like,
because he thinks to himself, this is stupid. I should apologize and leave because, you know, all of my men could just get murdered here and it's not worth it. And so then he says, the women committed arson, theft, and assault, and I'll stay here until you're done with them.
Yeah.
So he thinks I should get the hell out of here, and then he's like, I'm just going to sit here and wait until you're finished.
I'm going to hunker down here. Yeah. What do you need, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
I'll wait.
But then he says that Mara can start working off her hours in her spare time.
Yes.
The whole dog robber situation.
That's the dog robber situation. That's when I was like, what the heck does this even mean?
And even Swan is like, I don't want to be your stupid dog robber, whatever that is.
Stealing dogs? What is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Swan just hates this. She hates everything that Bryn is saying.
Yeah.
And that the Aes Sedai are saying. And then Lyanna is eyeing him up, and he notes that her skills have improved.
Yeah, so we know one conversation that hasn't happened is the whole Swan and Lyanna thing, because it's like, you know, they're all staring at Bryn.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, Swan's like staring daggers at Bryn.
Yeah.
And Lyanna's like still eyeing him up. Like, what's the intention here? Is this another one of those game plans or something? Where it's like a good cop, bad cop situation? Like, what's going on?
No, I think that Lyanna's go-to with men is flirt with them to get your way.
Okay.
And so she doesn't want to have to serve him. And if she can in any way entice him into just like leaving or something, she thinks that she might still have a chance to convince him to do whatever she wants.
Okay.
I think that she's just still
doing the thing that she does.
Playing her role.
Okay, I get that. All right.
And Swan can't hide when she's pissed off.
Yeah, because it's like a little bit weird because then Swan like comes up to Bryn afterwards and they have that whole...
screams in his face.
Yeah, basically, as that's what happens.
Calls him like a rotting pile of carp guts or something.
Yeah, so it's like there doesn't seem to be much communication. Like they plan out this whole like, let's manipulate all the Aes Sedai here, but like no plans for...
I don't know if they had an opportunity to, though.
Or even if they knew that he was like...
Well, they clearly are surprised by the fact that he's coming. And I don't know if sitting here with the other Aes Sedai, they had a chance to discuss between the two of them what they should do.
Fair, so there you go.
Probably not.
There we go.
I think this is Lyanna's just default at this point.
Figured it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it was even anything to talk about.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Okay. So, anyway... Bryn's going on about how, Mara can serve me in the meantime, and the Aes Sedai are like, actually, this is Swan Sanche, the former Amerlin seat.
Yeah.
And this is Lyanna, the former Keeper of the Chronicles.
This is big, like, this...
And, I was worried. While I was reading this, I was concerned they weren't going to tell him who they were.
Oh, and it'd be like a big dragged out thing.
Yeah, and I just was like... he should probably just know up front, especially if you want to use him. Like, keeping that secret seems weird.
Yeah, so this is good.
Yeah, so they told him and I went, oh, good.
Phew.
And it happened right away, so I was happy. And he's very confused.
Yeah.
He's like, wait a minute, I don't get it.
I love because he's like, how? Happen? And they're like, well, there's some things you shouldn't know. But it's like, you guys don't know either.
Yeah, but, so they don't really tell him, and he still sort of figures it out. He's like, well, they've been stilled, and this is probably a side effect of that.
Yeah, which is like, that's pretty logical.
Yeah, that's
Figured it out. So.
Yeah, he did it.
You know what I really like is that why I was saying Bryn's pretty smart as a guy here. He had a sinking feeling that he knew what they were softening him up for, and it'd be interesting to learn whether he was right. So that's like the first little hint here, where he's thinking to himself like, oh, they want something, and I think I know what they want.
Yeah,
Let's see how this plays out.
they want me to, like, help lead their army.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's already figured out, like, at this point, what's going on here.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that you lead the Queen of Andor's Queen's Guard.
For, like, 3 generations?
Yeah. No, not 3 generations.
3 queens.
3 queens. Yeah, that's different. It's
3
not like,
generations
it's
of
not
queen.
A Linny 3 generations situation.
Well, you never know. Okay.
No way.
I could see like a Gareth Bryn Linny hookup. Okay. No. Okay.
No.
All right.
No, but yeah, I think that it makes sense that he's a smart guy.
Yeah. Yes. He's not a fool. So
no. Which is probably why he was so pissed off about that whole. We'll get into it, but the whole Swan telling him he can't do something that he thinks is smart.
Yeah.
And she's like, no.
Yeah. That's like number one rule, I think, as a military commander. Don't let people come into your country and kill people and steal stuff. That's like number one rule.
That's number one.
Number one. It's like top of the list.
Is that what Swan wanted to do?
Yeah. He had to let the Mirandians keep invading over the river. And he had soldiers on the river to stop that.
Did I miss that?
Yeah, you just haven't been paying... I've been trying to bring this up for like so long. Okay.
I was like, yeah, they had an argument about something.
Yeah, and you had to pull the troops back because they're like, you can't put people there. And he's like, they're coming over the river.
Yeah.
And that was the entire issue.
I got it.
And Swan like recaps all of that information in the story in this chapter.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we'll talk... Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Yes.
Well, I knew that there was an issue.
Yeah. There was a problem. That was...
Because of... Yeah, we can... Okay, you recap me when we get there.
Yeah.
Okay, so... The Aes Sedai tell him that, yeah, you can stay and the women can work for you.
Yeah.
But, oh, hey...
By the way, while you're here...
There's also this one thing that you can help us out with, and, it's a really good and honorable thing to help Aes Sedai...
Yeah.
And we won't hurt Andor, okay?
Okay, so this is funny. I gotta point this out because this is the funniest. It's so good. Because the way it's written, like Swan and Lyanna do such a good job of manipulating the Aes Sedai, but then the Aes Sedai trying to manipulate Bryn, they're like way more bold. They're firing out a bunch of shots of like, oh, it's good to help us and we're not going to hurt Andor and you're not going to have to do anything like dishonorable, so you should probably help us.
Yep.
And they're beginning with like the why he should help.
Yes.
But they're not talking about what he's helping with.
Right.
Like, they do such a bad job of explaining what's going on here.
Yeah, but Bryn is smart enough that he just figures it out.
Yeah, but it's like
knows.
Bryn telling them what the plan is.
Yes.
Before they even bring it up.
And, that is interesting, because these 6, like, they're the new hall or whatever. It's just, they're not great.
They're not the best. They're
not the best leaders, let's say. Yeah, that is funny. That's a good point.
Yeah.
And it's also funny because they're almost like threatening that if he doesn't help, they will hurt Andor. Like, it's this weird sort of situation. And Bryn is thinking, oh, the Aes Sedai are really good at playing Days Daymar. They practically invented it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bryn says, yeah, okay, I get it. The tower's broken, the Ashes have split, and you want me to lead an army. But since you don't have one, you want me to build it, and then you're planning to fight Elaida.
Yeah.
And they're like, yes.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's exactly right.
Got all the points right.
You got it. And so he says, fine, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And I think, well, what's he doing in his life anyway?
Exactly. That's what I said. Is this a retirement?
Yeah, except he doesn't know. He doesn't know who's probably in Core Springs right now looking for him.
Oh.
It's Morgaze.
Yeah. Shoot.
Did you forget about that?
No.
Because I forgot about it a little bit.
Well, okay, technically, we haven't seen her arrive at Core Springs.
No.
So, I mean, there's
I think that we probably will.
Yeah, I bet you're hoping that.
Then it's going to be like...
Oh, no, he's not here.
Oh, no, he's not. And then what?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh no. And Linny's gonna be there.
And could you imagine? It'll be like, where's Gareth Bryn? And the next thing she sees is he's leading an Aes Sedai army against the White Tower.
Right.
To usurp Elaida. Like, what the fuck?
Sounds good. Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
That's probably not a this book thing, I'm guessing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know how long it takes to raise an army and stuff like that, but, we don't have that much because, drumroll.
Oh, we're halfway through the book.
We're halfway through the book.
That's fair. So, I got some stuff to think about.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Bryn has some conditions.
He does. I like his rules.
I like how demanding he is.
It is interesting,
not like demanding. Maybe that's the wrong... He's assertive.
He's assertive in what his needs are for his people.
He just shows off all his knowledge and his skills, and yeah. This is the guy they want.
Yeah, this is the...
By accident.
He's not just a good captain.
He's one of the best of the 5.
Oh my god, you missed it. He's a great captain. He's a great captain. I did a fun fact on great captains.
Great captains. Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I was implying.
That was the setup for the joke.
It's not a joke.
Not the way you said it.
No. Okay. Do you want to go over his rules?
Yeah, I got his conditions. Okay, number 1, the command is his. They tell Bryn what to do. He decides how. Commands are given to Bryn, but he gives them to the soldiers. He promotes, he assigns tasks, and he disciplines his own men.
Yeah, and then most importantly, don't fucking back down.
Oh, that was just rule 1.
Oh. What did you say rule 1 was?
That the entire thing I just said, all that was rule 1.
Oh, I missed that.
Okay. Rule 2 is if he says it can't be done, they have to listen and consider the fact that it can't be done. They don't understand war, but he does.
Okay.
That's rule number 2.
Got it.
And
I understand. Okay, that was all one thing.
That was all one thing.
I thought you were like finished, and I was like, oh, you missed the most important part. No. Got it. I'm totally on board.
Rule 1 is the command is his. Rule 2
we're all on board.
If he says it can't be done, it probably can't be done.
Got it.
And then rule 3, if you start it, you gotta finish it.
Right. Even if he doesn't think that they're actually gonna follow through.
You gotta follow through on that. You gotta do it because, like, if you back out, you're gonna leave everybody who joins the army high and dry. Not cool.
Not cool.
Don't do it. So yeah,
it's gonna make us all look real bad.
Yeah.
Real fast,
and then probably get hung or whatever. So hanged. You get hanged.
Hanged.
Yeah.
That's English for you.
There you go. Okay. And it's interesting to know that after this chapter is done, he thinks about how he was willing to concede the first 2 points, but not the third.
Yeah.
So he's willing to give up, like, the command and the whole, like, things can't be done sometimes.
Right. Okay, so now the Aes Sedai move off to deliberate these rules. They put a little ward up.
Yep.
So he can't hear them.
Can't hear.
And then we get a bunch of Bryn wondering if he's going to just, like, die right now.
Yeah. Which is like possible.
Which maybe.
Yeah.
And then as he's thinking that, Swan marches up to him to yell in his face, "Why did you follow us all this way, you idiot?"
I like to imagine it as like loud, aggressive whispering.
Yes.
That's how I like to imagine it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and she's quite a bit shorter than him.
She's like right in front of him, staring up, just like
calling him a bunch of carp guts and a bajillion
fish references,
other fish metaphors.
Yeah,
and it's great. So Bryn says, "Well, it's for the oath, but he thinks is for a pair of blue eyes."
Yeah,
and so she absolutely hates this.
Yes.
She hates it so much. She hates that he's here. She hates that any of this is happening. It's messing up her plans.
It's ruining the plans.
Because her plan was to raise a new Amerlin and to beat Elida that way.
Yeah.
And now if Bryn's here, maybe that's not going to be the plan anymore.
Which is true.
And so she's pissed.
Yeah.
Now.
We do get a bit of a hint about the whole age thing too.
Oh,
because Bryn thinks that Swan could not be more than 10 years younger than he is, but now she looks 30 years younger.
Got it. That's it?
That's it. That's the hint. I mean, depends on where you plug Bryn into the age gap.
Right.
Like, if he's like 50 to 60...
If he's 50 and she looks 30 years younger, she looks 20.
But she's probably around 40.
But she's actually like 40.
Okay.
Which makes sense because she has been Amerlin for 20 years.
10 years.
10 years. Okay, yes. That makes sense then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
back to her being super pissed off.
Yes, the
because
standoff.
Bryn thinks to himself, it looked like she was going to have apoplexy.
Right. Now, I don't know what that word means.
Would you like a vocabulary lesson from me?
This is the word. Okay,
on
excellent.
the word apoplexy?
You know, I've heard it because it's in The Office.
It's in The Office.
But I don't know what it means.
When Erin is playing Words with Friends with Gabe, and she needs to win. And Oscar's like, helping her.
I will have apoplexy.
Have apoplexy if you lose this.
Yeah.
Apoplexy. And she's like, got it. Apoplexy. And she plays the word ape.
Yes.
And loses.
It's hilarious.
It's so funny.
It's
and
good.
so I read this and I was like, hey, that's funny. I know this word, but what does it mean?
Yeah.
So, let me tell you. The original medical definition for having apoplexy is an unconscious or incapacity resulting from a cerebral hemorrhage or stroke.
Okay, so my brain just like gives up on
brain dies,
itself.
and so you don't have any capabilities of doing anything.
Oh my goodness.
But there's a more informal definition that have stemmed from this, and it is an incapacity or speechlessness caused by extreme anger.
Gotcha. That fits really well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the example from the dictionary people, the decision has aroused apoplexy among environmentalists.
I
wonder what that decision is.
Okay.
But that's funny.
That is funny. I wonder why Nynaeve doesn't have apoplexy more. If it's like caused from anger?
I'm sure she does.
Okay.
But nobody uses that word to describe it.
True.
Oh, you know why? Because she's never speechless.
That's true.
Because in this scenario,
Swan
is so angry that she can't even talk. But it stems from when people have like a hemorrhage or a stroke and they actually just can't talk.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good. That's a good definition.
Thank you. Yours were good too.
Thanks.
This is a very vocabulary.
We're helping people learn, I guess, maybe.
Expand their vocab.
Unless they just already know all these things.
I'm sure they do
and
know
we're
it
way
all,
behind.
and we don't.
Yeah.
So there's that.
All right.
I'm learning.
That's what counts.
That's what counts. So in the middle of all of this, Bryn notices that the Aes Sedai over in the corner have sort of split into two opposing sides.
This is actually important too. Just because not everybody's in agreement here.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And so he figures that since they seem to be ready to give him Swan or Lyanna, then they must be on the weaker side.
Yeah, like versus Elida. Like they're ready to give up. They're ready to give up people and things, and like they're clearly a little bit, not on the whole same page.
Got it.
So
I didn't really know what that meant.
The Saldaea Aes Sedai are in a position of weakness, so they really need Gareth Bryn.
Got it.
They need his help.
Okay. And so it's just like coincidence that he's walked in here and now, yeah okay. I do think with him, they will adjust their original plan.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, because now, like, leading an army, that's a thing that can happen.
Right. And, like, going off to find Rand in the Waste? I don't know.
You're going to ask, what do I think?
Yeah, I was going to ask, do you think that that's going to happen? But
why can't you enact 2 plans at the same time? They still need to find Rand. Like, that's still important.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But do they need to elect a new Amelin seat right now?
No, that's a good question.
If they have an army? I think that Swan's going to get some pushback, and I think that's why she's so angry.
Oh, yeah.
That she's going to have apoplexy.
Swan's got a legitimate reason to kind of be annoyed right now, so...
Yes, and kind of being annoyed is, like, the most light way you could put that.
Yeah.
All right, but now is the time for us to finally hear what the whole Brynn, Swan, Morgase, Elida fiasco
this is so
all
good.
about.
Okay.
Because Swan thinks that Brynn is punishing her because he's still really upset and a little salty about that incident so long ago.
A long time ago.
But he didn't even know it was you until 3 seconds ago.
No, but it's like now that he knows who she is, like now he's going to punish her double.
And he might.
Yeah.
He says no. He says no.
Yeah.
But he does want to know what all that pushback was, what was so important to allow the Mirandians to raid across the border.
Yeah, so can I tell you the story?
Yes,
so
you can, because now I kind of okay. Yeah. I want to know more.
The whole thing.
I'll listen this time.
Okay, excellent. You have your wine. It's good. So Swan talks about how his interference at that point in time with Elida and Morgase and all that was going to ruin important plans because the Tower had identified a young border lord named Dulane as a man who they might unify Morandi, because Morandi is just basically like a kind of a scattered nation with a bunch of cities.
We get a very interesting tidbit about the whole like Lugarder thing.
Yeah.
Because we've heard about the Lugarder accent.
Yes.
Specifically with Fane.
Yeah.
And
so Lugard's in Morandi.
In Morandi, but it's a city. And
but you call it Lugard, and it's like the bunch of towns. Like everybody's very individualistic, and the only reason like Morandi even like, binds themselves together in any fashion is to prevent Ilion or something from taking over.
Right. But each city is relatively independent.
Yeah, and that's kind of the big thing. So that's why Swan was like, hey, your plans were going to ruin things because we got this guy Dulane who's going to unify the entire nation. And that'd be good for the common people as it is.
Except then Brynn goes, well, what happened to this guy?
Well, I've never heard of him. And then that's when Swan's like, he died like a month after the whole meeting happened. Which is like, poor Dulane, but also hilarious because an Andoran farmer put an arrow through him on a sheep raid. So the whole thing was that the Mirandians were raiding into Andor.
Yeah.
Brynn was like, we need soldiers down there. And then Swan came in and was like, you got to pull your soldiers back. Yeah. We don't want you to accidentally kill this Dulane dude.
And then he just died killed anyway.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Because it wasn't even soldiers.
It's part of the pattern. Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so this goes on for a little while, longer than I thought.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised that they're just standing here bickering with each other.
Whisper arguing
while this is going on. And they get a few more jabs at each other, but then it's time for the Aes Sedai to come in and let them know what their decision is.
Yeah, and we got to inspect these words for trickery.
Ooh, okay.
They're Aes Sedai. You gotta be.
They are Aes Sedai.
You need the Dark Friend radar. You need a trickery wording radar.
Sure. Okay. So it turns out that they accept, but the Carlinia, that's the white one.
Yes.
The one who's cool logic.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
Doesn't seem very happy about this because this is a very impulsive decision, and I could imagine impulsive decisions upset her.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, what do we need to inspect?
Okay, so the phrasing is, we accept your conditions without reservation, Lord Brynn, and pledge ourselves to hold to them. They are most reasonable.
Well, the issue there is they didn't say what all the conditions are.
Okay, so maybe some trickery?
Maybe.
Are you a little bit cautious, or are you thinking that they're... Because this is the whole thing. We know the Aes Sedai here...
We accept your conditions.
Yeah.
He laid out his conditions.
This very well might not be Aes Sedai trickery. I'm just saying, we gotta watch for that.
Have a radar.
Yeah, because we know they are kind of on the weak side here. We know they're not the most powerful. So they might be giving into his demands because they need him. Like, they really do.
Yeah.
So, I just want you to, like, be on the lookout here.
I'll read it again myself.
Okay.
I'll make some decisions.
All right.
On further inspection, these are loafers. Okay, but really, I think that it's not that tricksy.
Okay.
I've heard more tricksy things in my life.
You think it's kind of authentic?
I've heard more tricksy things before.
Fair.
Unless this is very subtle tricksy trickery.
Okay. Yeah.
Tricksy trickery. I don't know. We can assume there's some trickery. It's Aes Sedai business.
That's true.
But.
Okay, way to hedge.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks for acknowledging. So then Bryn kneels. The Aes Sedai form a circle around him, lay a hand on like his head or something.
Yeah, they all basically get a hand on him.
Yeah. And he starts swearing his oath, and he's already planning on how to get the job done.
Okay, he thinks about, do they use the power to do something to him? Do you think they're using the power to, like, bind him?
Bind an oath of some kind?
Yeah. You know, some sort of...
No, I think it's just weirdo tradition.
Okay.
I think he'd feel it. You know, with, like, healing, you feel like a...
Yeah, some sort of, like, you know, irrevocable something or other.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
But why are you smiling at me?
I know that it's something. I know there's something there. I don't know what it's called, but I know there's something.
There's some power binding him to this oath?
No. There's some Harry Potter thing about words and binding and oaths and irrevocable words.
Oh, the unbreakable oath.
That's the one. There you go.
Okay. Oh, that's why you're smirking at me.
Yeah.
There is an unbreakable oath, and
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so Snape and Narcissa.
Yeah, those people.
Mm-hmm.
I know it was something like that. I don't know what the context was.
You do like a funny little handshake and then
Yeah,
a bunch
something,
of fire
something.
vines.
Gotta do something for reals.
Yeah, otherwise you die.
Right. Hmm?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'll go get it.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Okay, well here we are. Good for you on this one, because there's actually been some people reaching out and saying they're upset that we're not taking enough shots.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they like to take shots with us.
Okay,
The people.
hey,
It's
okay.
the people.
Well,
Brett.
you know, if they read ahead and then submit their references to me so I know, I'm, like, doing my best here for Harry Potter.
Well, Harry Potter is usually my thing.
Yeah.
And we've pretty much sussed it out. Harry Potter is relatively shallow. In case you guys didn't know, like, we've done a lot of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's been a huge stretch.
Yeah.
But you could be doing more Lord of the Rings. That's a new
fair.
thing.
But you don't get them, and that's the issue. We need to find time.
You don't get Harry Potter references. That's been the whole thing.
We got this one.
I know
pretty good.
you got this one, but but overall, generally.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Also, it's been a while since anyone sent us a shot class.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Okay.
We should put that out there.
Yeah, do it. If you want to.
Yeah.
And if you don't, whatever. But
yeah,
know, that'd be cool.
But we would absolutely love to feature your shot glass
on our
shelf and on our show.
Yeah.
Because we've gone through
and for
all of our shots. We don't even mention what we're drinking out of anymore because we've gone through them all already.
That's true. Yeah. So yeah, let's do the shot.
Okay, it's bubblegum vodka because it's been a while.
Okay, I thought it was going to be whiskey, but you know, hey.
No.
Good.
Okay, cheers.
That one was more vodka than bubblegum.
Oh, yeah. These bottles are old.
Yeah, they are old. They're like a couple years now.
Okay. She burns. Oh, even you are struggling.
Yeah, that one was a lot of vodka.
Your eyes are watering.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We're okay. We can do this.
We can do it. So, okay. Woo. Now, just quick before we move on.
Sure.
If anyone is interested in sending us a shot glass for us to feature, reach out to us on our Discord, Instagram, or Twitter, and we will share our P.O. Box with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can find all of that stuff, all of our information, all things The Wheel Weaves on www.thewheelweavespodcast.com. I don't think I've done a very good job of promoting the fact that we have a website now.
We do have a website. We've had it for a while.
How legitimate are we?
Goodness.
We've had a lot of things going on. It's about a month old.
Yeah.
It's not that old. The fact that we've had a website.
I mean, it's pretty big, and we've never talked about it. So,
I know. It's this big deal. Okay. Go check out our website and then be like, wow, Danny, you did a great job.
Great job.
I designed it myself.
You did. You put a lot of work into it.
Don't tell me the things that could be better. Just tell
all positive.
Just tell me all positive.
Not constructive criticism.
None.
Just like all good stuff.
That's not true. I actually really do appreciate constructive criticism. But that's where you can find all of our information. Okay. Now.
Back to it.
Min.
Let's do this.
Let's get into Min's head for a second. She's a little all over the place.
She's really all over the place. She accomplishes barely anything.
No. No, there is a huge thing that happens in here that is so subtly...
Is there?
Passed over.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
I got some stuff we can talk about, but what?
Okay, so we pick up with Min just as Bryn and the warder are exiting the meeting.
Yeah. We're doing a lot of crossover perspective switches.
It was a little confusing for me. So, first off, we have, I think, Bryn and Swan going upstairs together or something.
They're, like, heading off.
They're heading off?
Yeah.
Okay. And Min is like, oh my god, I have to talk to Swan.
Yes.
Because I have to get out of here because I want to go see Rand.
Yes, that's priority number one.
She can't possibly make me stay. There's nothing for me to stay for anymore. And then she thinks, oh my god, are they going to make us keep to our oath? I was trying to think of the words. That's what it is, right? Like keep
work
to their...
for him for basically forever.
Yeah,
so.
well, like a couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, no way.
I don't got time for that. No way, man.
And so she says to Logain, stay here. I gotta go talk to Swan.
Yes. And Logain's like basically brain dead right now. Like he's not doing...
Well, no.
Well, okay.
He was basically brain dead.
And now he's like a little bit in.
And let me tell you, no, this is a big deal.
Oh, is it a big deal for you?
Oh, yes.
Interesting,
because he's starting to look around and actually see where he is and what's going on.
Yeah.
And he's kind of snapping out of his funk.
Okay.
Not quite sure what was going on.
Just like a little bit.
Just a little bit snapping out of it because he says, she sold me to the Aes Sedai.
Yes.
I'll stay here. I'll wait.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, man, don't worry. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay.
And so now...
What are you picking out of that?
Who is she? She sold me to the Aes Sedai.
Okay, well, the easy answer would be like Swan. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
because he's sitting in a camp full of Aes Sedai now. When Swan was like, hey, help us get out of here and I'll let you get your revenge. And now she just brought him to a bunch of new Aes Sedai.
Yeah. Unless he's doing some weird thing.
Okay.
Where he's thinking about, like, either, like, Elida or, like, you know, the whole false dragon situation.
I remember, yeah.
That Swan told everybody about.
Okay.
Might be true.
Or a little bit not totally fiction, like there's some truth sprinkled in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It made me think.
I like that.
I don't have a real answer, but I think it's a little bit deeper than it appears, only because I know what book series I'm reading.
Right, okay.
If I was reading something else, I'd be like, oh yeah, this was Swan, this makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's not.
I love it.
It's
Robert
Jordan.
Okay.
And you know.
Everything matters.
You know what I'm talking about.
I'm surprised you skipped over the Abu Dar thing.
I didn't, actually.
Okay, we're coming back to it?
Yes, because after that shot and after our discussion, I got really excited. And
Holy smokes.
I started talking without even reading my notes.
Holy smokes, okay.
Yeah,
all right,
because I just started talking about what I remembered happening in the chapter.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm going to go back to my notes.
Okay.
Because I have a point.
Stay on track.
Yeah, it says, first off, she hears Bryn say, tell them an Abu Dari tavern maid sent you, or they'll put your head on a stake.
Yeah, that gives us some good information.
And then the warder guy goes, dangerous city, Abu Dar.
Uh-huh.
And then they laugh.
Okay. Two pieces of information there.
I know. Weird that I don't understand. But, you know what I did take out of it?
What?
That I'm disappointed.
Why?
So...
That Abu Dar is a dangerous city?
Yeah.
That makes it all the more cooler. It makes it way better.
No.
Really?
No.
I'm surprised by that.
You know why? In our Q&A...
Yeah?
In probably about, I don't know, 10 to 15 of the Q&As that we've done...
Yeah?
Somebody asks us... Where would you travel?
Right.
Where would you go?
Yeah.
What would you do? And my thing is, I love the water. I love the ocean. I love to travel to anywhere that there's going to be water or an ocean.
Yeah, you're looking for Mexico.
I'm looking for the beach town. Where's my beach town?
Yeah.
Where's my Caribbean, you know? So I used to say Ilion or Tyr.
Yeah.
Because that's like, oh, it's south.
You're looking for like Puerto Vallarta. You're looking for Cabo. Like... Come on, where is it?
Jamaica.
Yeah, give me something.
Bahamas.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm not quite. I'm looking for something though.
Okay.
And then we got there and it was like smelly and muddy and gross and there weren't like fun beaches.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, disappointing. And then I was like, maybe Tanchico. That's on the coast. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
And then
turns out not so fun.
Civil War.
Not right now.
Awful, terrible, poor people everywhere.
Oh man.
It's
crazy.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, just like those black eyes I like to say. So
yeah, so gross. And so then my most recent thing has been I'll go to Abu Dhabi because it's on the coast. It sounds exotic. It's a little the name sounds a little Dubai.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds a little fancy. I don't know. It sounds like okay, cool. I'll go there. And I really hope that we're not going to go there anytime soon.
Okay.
Because I've painted this picture every time I decide what a place looks like in my head. And then we get there and it's nothing like that. And I don't want to go there anymore. It's really disappointing.
Okay.
I'm running out of coastal towns
I'm just going to tell you right now that you may or may not like Abu Dhabi once we get there, if we get there.
I think I've decided I'm not going to like it, and I want to go to Tremalking.
No, you want to go to Mayan. I already talked about this.
Oh, Mayan.
Yeah.
Mayan is, okay.
Mayan, maybe. It's like way off, down there.
I think Mayan is where the nude beaches are.
Yeah, it is. Hey-oh.
100%.
Okay.
Just based on Barrel Lane alone.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay.
That's where the nude beaches are. But I also think Tremalking would be fun, too.
Okay. All right. Well,
those are my things.
Some people may or may not agree or disagree with you.
Those are my new vacation spots because I'm worried about Abu Dhabi being dangerous.
This is a hilarious conversation. I love this. This
Do
is great.
you like this?
Oh, it's so good. There's so many good things happening here.
I like that we brought a little bit of Q&A into our episode.
Yeah.
This is the one to do it because there's nothing happening.
You know,
no. Well, no. That's not true. There's lots happening, but they were short chapters.
That's true, yeah.
Okay. Now we can get back to Min telling Logain to sit tight. And he's like, yeah, okay. So, she's going to go check to see if there's a possibility of ducking out of here.
Yeah.
But it turns out probably not because their horses are definitely being watched. And Min goes to Swan in passing.
They run into each other.
She is going to talk to her. Yeah. And Swan's like, I gotta go.
Yeah, because she comes in with a bunch of clothes or whatever. So
no, this is before that.
Is it before that?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I know, that's why I'm confused.
It's very confused.
It is.
Min's confused, we're all confused.
Yeah. So, Swan, in passing, is like, what are you doing leaving Logain? Don't let anyone talk to Logain. Just sit there, don't let anyone talk to her.
But here's a question.
Him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a thing, not a question necessarily. If someone wants to talk to Logain and Min's there, it's not like Min can stop an Aes Sedai from talking to him.
No, but Min can do her, stupid act where she's like, do you like my hair?
Oh, yeah.
I'm really good at weaving. Can you teach me how to weave something?
Okay, maybe distract. Yeah.
I think that she could probably, what's the word, detract?
Sure.
From the situation.
Yeah.
And just be like, look over here.
Yeah.
I'm juggling.
Well, it's funny because to everybody, she's Elmendreda still.
Yeah.
But in this scene, she doesn't feel like Elmendreda.
Ah.
It doesn't feel like she's putting on her really super ditzy act.
No, she's not. But she could put on any sort of act. She is decent at it.
Yeah.
And I think she could stop anyone from talking to Logain.
Okay, I like that.
Sort of.
And then, big question, why does Swan want no one to talk to Logain?
Because she lied.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Yeah, I think that's very clear.
Cover up the lie.
That's very clear at this point that there is whatever truth is in there, and I do think there is probably some truth.
Yep.
I think what Swan said.
Swan needs to talk to Logain.
Yeah. And no one needs to talk to Logain.
Iron out the wrinkles before the Aes Sedai talk to him. I think so.
And I was also just reminded that last time we were talking, I forgot that when I was reading the chapter where Swan was doing her Jedi mind tricks.
Yeah.
You know what? I thought about the scene from Chicago when Richard Gere is...
This is not a reference for me, by the way.
No, I know you don't. You have no idea. I even looked up from reading and was like, give him the old razzle dazzle.
Okay.
And you just
I assume that's funny.
Stared at me. It is funny. And so I was thinking of how, the Richard Gere character does the whole act.
Okay.
To get everyone.
Okay.
Ooh, good idea. Anyway,
I'll take your word for it.
That was from last episode that I forgot to mention, and I wanted to put it out there.
All right.
Now, don't let the bubblegum go to my head.
Yes, keep on track. Let's do this.
So, Min goes back to Logain and tells him, don't say anything until Mara tells you what she has planned.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you mean Swan Sanche?
Oh, yeah, he's not happy. He's very not happy right now, I think.
No, because at some point in his, like, unless he's kind of been faking his stupor.
Yeah.
Or not stupor.
Here's
like
the thing, too. Like, he's not outwardly showing anything, but it's not like he's not receiving information as a person.
I wonder if he found out that she's Swan Sanche, and then that's when he was sort of like, fuck this.
Yeah.
And just, like, gave up talking to them, gave up interacting with them, and is like, maybe I'll escape when I can.
I mean, possible.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it seems weird that he's, like, waking up out of it a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I just also had to throw it out there because the whole thing is, like, don't let anybody talk to Logain. But I have to put it out there because he was literally, like, in the tower beforehand and followed around by one accepted to make sure he doesn't kill himself.
Right.
Like, that was what was happening. So why would anybody really want to talk to him now except to, like, validate Swan's story? That's only thing.
Right? Well, and also to talk to him a little bit about, like, his journey here.
And, like,
I think that, like, Swan being like, we talked on our journey here, but at any point did she say, well, I found him and I brought him with me because this is my plan? No.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, how did you even end up traveling together at all?
Yeah.
Like, Logain has become a lot more interesting since they last saw him.
That's true.
All right. Now we get a whole lot of Min's thoughts about everything that's sort of happening around here, about the Aes Sedai bustling around, and everyone's very busy. And then she sees Swan sort of following Bryn around now.
She works for him now.
And this is going poorly. And now Swan appears with a bundle of clothing.
Oh, right. That's okay.
Right.
Very confusing.
And Min goes to talk to Swan because we had a viewing of Bryn when we saw him last.
Yeah.
So, this viewing was an aura, which I'm not quite sure the difference between, like, a viewing and an aura.
It's the same. It's just, like, whether it's an image or an aura. Because remember way back when with Min where there was an aura around, I think it was Rand, is like, oh, blackness swirling around you and evil and you're the center of everything.
Okay.
That was more like aura based.
Okay.
And then image is like, boom, there's a bull with the roses and the thorns and
Got
stuff.
it. So. Okay. So, like, none of it really matters except for this aura.
Yeah.
And she knows what it means.
That's the important part, is Min can actually translate this for us.
Right. And so she tells Swan that the aura is there and is very important for Swan.
Yes.
Because she says, if you want to stay alive, you better stay close to him. Because if you get too far away, you'll both die.
Yes.
And she's
both
only had one if viewing before.
Yeah. Because this is a big thing with this viewing of Swan and Bryn. She's like, if you don't stay together, that's the if.
Yes.
Then something bad happens and you both die.
Right. And now the other one was Egwene Galad?
No.
Or just Egwene?
No. I pulled it up for you.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
The Shadow Rising, chapter 47. Gawain kneeling at Egwene's feet with his head bowed.
Gawain.
And Gawain breaking Egwene's neck, first one, then the other, as if either could be the future.
Okay, can I tell you?
Yep.
Galad and Gawain are still slightly interchangeable in my mind.
Okay.
And that's what I meant.
Galad is the good-looking one, the white cloak now.
I know. I don't need you to explain it to me.
Okay.
I know. I mix up their names.
Gotcha.
So I wrote in my note Galad, but I actually meant Gawain.
Gotcha. Okay. So
and that's not just me. I can admit when I'm wrong. I actually did think it was Gawain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the last part of that was that Min had never seen the fluttering back and forth, as though not even the viewing could tell which would be the true future.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is starting to happen more often for
Yeah, and that's
Min.
bad. The ifs are becoming more regular.
Interesting.
I mean, sort of. It's
Yeah.
twice.
And then this chapter ends with Swan just, like, not giving a shit.
Yeah.
Basically. And then Min, grumbling and Swan grumbling about everything. Swan doesn't want to do the laundry, so she gives it to Min to do.
Yeah.
And, they're thinking about what's going to happen next.
Yeah, and Min's like, this is Rand's fault.
Everything's Rand's fault.
Yeah. So anything to say about Swan and Bryn having to stay together, otherwise they both die?
No, I think that's probably why I'm starting to really picture them together. But maybe more platonic, like you said. I have to give it more thought. I need to see more before any of it makes any real sense.
Okay. Like, there definitely seems to be some mutual respect there on some level.
Yeah.
Even if they're angry with each other, or, Swan's just angry with Bryn right now.
Yeah. Fair.
I mean, something to be said for it, so.
Something to be said.
Okay.
Okay. Into chapter 29.
Let's do it.
Memories of Saldaea.
Yeah.
The chapter symbol is the two ravens.
Yes.
So the nodding ravens, is that what they're called? I think that's what people call them.
Nodding ravens?
Yeah, because they're nodding. Like, one's up and one's down.
Okay, I get that.
You haven't heard that?
No.
Oh. I think that's a social media thing.
Yeah. That would make sense why I haven't heard it.
Yeah, I feel like somebody I saw get a tattoo of them and called them the nodding ravens.
Cool. Yeah, that works.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Anyway, guess whose perspective we're in?
Oh, it's Kadir.
Yeah, I actually forgot. I had a joke planned.
Oh, no.
When we finished the last episode,
Okay.
I was going to say, and that's it. That's all. Episode over. Because I don't want to talk about this chapter.
Oh, okay.
But now we're here. It's Hanan Kadir's perspective.
Hadnan.
Had on. What did I say?
I don't know. Not what it was.
I'm going to say Kadir.
Kadir.
He's lying in his bed. It's nighttime. He's in his wagon. And he's still with Rand and the Aiel here in Cairhien.
Yeah.
And he's thinking about hopefully returning to Saldaea.
Yeah.
And I went, the nose.
Yep. There you go.
The nose tells all.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny. And also, I really do like how RJ introduces a character like the sister of Kadir at the beginning, where he's thinking of, his sister Theodora.
Yeah, that's not for a little while.
Well, no,
in
he
my
literally...
notes.
Yeah,
Oh.
But he thinks of her right at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Because
In
he's thinking
Saldaea.
about, like,
Okay.
my sister...
There
taught
were
me.
actually, you're right, there are a couple of references.
There are, and it's so well done because you're like, oh, this is weird, the Darkfriend has a sister, blah, blah, blah.
And then you're like, oh, you start feeling bad for him a little.
like, oh, no, he's just a family guy. But it's like, turns out...
No, we'll get there. Yeah. Oh my god, don't even spoil it.
Okay.
So...
Won't do it.
Right. So... He has received recently a small folded note under his door tonight.
I love it.
That says, "You are not alone among strangers. A way has been chosen."
Excellent. Ooh.
And he thinks about his options, about whether he should stay en route, with them, that like the route that Moraine has laid out for him, or like what he should do here.
Go to Tarvalon. There's work to be done. It's dangerous, but
it's exciting work in Tarvalon.
Yeah,
because that's especially a place Darkfriend shouldn't be. And
super
like, here
danger
we
zone.
are.
Okay, let's talk about this.
Kind of likes that.
You want to talk about the note?
Sure.
Okay. Who's the note from?
I don't know.
Oh no. Okay. I don't know. I was hoping.
No.
Okay.
No idea.
Yeah. Okay.
Not
that's
even
fair.
a clue.
No, nothing.
It's like, it's interesting. I'm interested to find out.
Yeah.
If I ever find out.
Fair.
But no, I don't really know.
Okay.
We'll talk about it because he starts trying to puzzle it out later.
Yeah, he does.
We can talk about it
He
then.
figures out who it's probably not.
Well, okay, so he has some thoughts about this note because the word chosen makes him sure that it's from a Darkfriend.
Yep.
And later he thinks potentially even from a Forsaken because
Sort
of the
of.
word chosen.
Well, he rules out that it was from Lanfear.
He rules out it's from Lanfear, and I don't know why he rules that out.
Well, because Lanfear visited him in a dream.
Yeah, I know,
so,
but
like,
that
if
doesn't
she
mean
really wants to.
I know, but that doesn't mean she can't.
That's true.
Do other ways of communication.
Yeah, so the whole word chosen just means that's why he thinks it's from a Darkfriend, because chosen means forsaken.
Right.
So.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. This is from a Darkfriend.
That's the code word. So.
It's just who.
Okay. And what's really good is we get like a couple time frames here, and we actually get a reference to the question you've been asking for so long.
I know.
So long.
I know.
We finally get something.
I know. It's
Okay.
only like medium though.
A little bit.
It's all like this was only like a little bit satisfying.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
because I need the rest of the characters. Because like for him, he knows they were dark friends together. And okay, so hold on. So it's been 2 months since Jason Natil has attached himself to Rand.
Yeah.
Right? And then he thinks his new partner, Keely, disappeared about 2 months ago.
And she's probably dead and buried. She's probably
dead by Natil's knife.
That's what he thinks.
So that's what he thinks.
Yep.
And he's like, whatever, she's probably buried in the waste.
Yeah.
And we move on. And I think, okay, so this is somebody acknowledging that Keely's gone.
Yeah, it's not just
this is someone who is like working beside her, literally like sharing a wagon with her. Obviously, if he didn't say something, I'd be like, okay, plot hole. But he's like, she's gone, probably dead. Now, for Moiraine not to say anything, for Egwene especially, that's the weirdest one for me.
Okay,
because Egwene is such a...
Nitpicker,
such an observer, such a question asker. I don't know. I feel like she would notice. Even like Matt, who had his opinions on how ugly and fat she was.
Yeah.
Like for nobody to be like, what happened to that chick?
She's dead in the waste.
She's dead somewhere, and we all just accept it and move on and never talk about it?
Yes.
Okay. Then should I never talk about it again?
Well, yeah.
Are you getting annoyed with me talking about it?
No.
Because if you are, other people are.
So
you should probably let me know if I should stop talking about it.
I want you to keep digging in on this point until the end of the book.
I don't know. I think that I've made my feelings pretty clear about it.
At least we got one person.
At least we got one person acknowledging that she's gone.
We just don't see the conversations about her.
I don't buy that.
Oh, okay.
But like maybe.
That was my best. That was what I got.
Okay. So. All right. I think it's interesting that it's been 2 months and he's just receiving this message now.
Yes. Yeah.
So also right after Keely disappeared and Jason Natil attached himself to Rand.
Right after Lanfear disappeared.
Right after Lanfear disappeared, he was visited by Lanfear.
Yeah.
And he was given instructions.
Yes.
Most of those instructions were keep an eye on Rand and Natil.
Yeah, like at this point we don't get what it is, but later on we're like,
no,
okay.
And it's pretty clear that Kadir thinks Natil is just a dark friend.
Yeah, and he thought Keely was just a dark friend too, so.
Yes.
Which makes sense. Like
high up though, as high up as a dark friend can
right
be.
Right below.
That's, okay. But no. And maybe now, Asmodean really is right below Forsaken.
That's actually fair.
Yeah. I don't think he's like considered Forsaken anymore.
Yeah.
Given his current situation.
Poor guy. Okay.
Really though? No. I think he's in a good situation.
I feel a little bit bad for him. No?
He's a little bit of a prisoner.
Yeah.
Shoot.
If you can be like sympathetic toward Lanfear, I could be sympathetic toward Asmodean.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. All right.
Am I sympathetic towards Lanfear?
Duh.
I don't know if sympathetic
sounds like we met her. You're like, she's my favorite character.
Yeah, that doesn't mean I'm sympathetic, though.
Is it? Okay.
Because she's never been in a situation where I'm like, that sucks for you.
Okay, you're emotionally supportive of her.
I am.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, fair.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, so he thinks about the note. And he thinks that it must be a woman based on the writing.
Right, and Aiel.
Well, because they're surrounded by Aiel. Like, who else would it be?
Yeah, I don't know.
There's like, he's the peddlers, and then there's Aiel. That's it.
Yeah. Someone else.
Yeah. I mean, technically, they're close to, like, a Kyrian town, probably.
Technically.
But, like, snuck into the Aiel camp to drop off a letter.
I don't know. I think it's Lanfear.
You think it's Lanfear? Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Because he thinks about that, and she visited him in a dream. I think it's
Lanfear because he thinks it's definitely not Lanfear.
Okay.
And if you're going to ask me, my answer is always it's probably Lanfear. So, that's what I'm going to go with here.
Okay. Lanfear leaving a note. Okay.
Yeah, to throw him off. To make him think. You know, men thinking is the most dangerous thing.
Ooh
something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't care. Let's move on.
2 little points, though. He's got scars branded on his chest from Lanfear.
Yeah.
And then second one is that when Asmodean and Lanfear, who were like hiding as Jason Natil and Keely, met Kadir, they showed him proof that they stood high in Dark Friend councils.
Ooh, I wonder what that is.
That's the question. What's that proof?
Yeah, I don't know.
So maybe,
maybe a little scar.
A little badge?
A little
pin?
They might have a little brand.
Ooh, a little brand. Okay.
Like, you know how he's got like a scar on his chest?
Yeah.
They might also have a little scar, something somewhere to show.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's got to be something, because what came to mind when you said that was Fane talking to Elviarin.
Okay.
Where he started saying all this stuff.
Yeah.
I've been here in Shealgul, blah, blah, blah. And she's impressed.
Yeah.
And he's clearly in higher standing with Dark Friends than she is.
And she's like, yeah, okay.
And she's like, okay, cool, bye.
Yeah.
And so it's got to be something along those lines.
Okay.
But, like, I don't know what they could show, but...
Code word.
Code word?
Nice.
Show a code word? No. I think some sort of tattoo, some sort of brand.
Well, it didn't say show.
Oh, that's what you said.
Well, he gave them proof. He showed them proof, gave them proof. Sorry, I may have misspoken.
Oh, you paraphrased.
Paraphrased.
Okay.
I didn't quote.
That's fine.
Yeah, so it says, if the Gleeman and Keeley had not had proofs that they stood high in Darkfen councils, he would have killed them both before going near the waste.
Okay, yeah. So that's why I think of the patent Fane Elviarin, because it's like, okay, so it's not just like, oh, they have something physical on their body to show.
Gotcha.
But they had proof. So the way they were speaking, he was like, okay, yeah. Gotcha. That's what I think.
Okay.
So then he thinks about again how he wishes he could see his sister again, and how he misses home. Shoot. And you start thinking, oh, that's sad for
Poor
this dark
Kadir.
friend.
Oh, no.
Nope. No. So then the sound of the door opening and closing.
Yeah. Like scratching at the door or something.
Well, there's a sound at the door, and it's Asandre coming in.
Yeah. And
so they talk a little bit, and Kadir thinks about her situation, and he asks her if she has anything to report on Althor or Natil.
Yeah, because that's the part where we
That was the major instruction from Lanfear's to keep an eye on those two, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Because Lanfear set this whole thing up, and then now she's like...
Well, it's kind of funny, because Lanfear's order was to keep Lanfear said, okay, Kadir, keep tabs on Rand and Asmodean, basically.
Yeah.
And then Kadir said, okay, Isandre, keep tabs on the two of them. But how would that go for, Kadir, if Lanfear finds out that Kadir told Isandre to go and sleep with Rand?
Yeah.
You know...
Oh, yeah, no.
I'm just saying, that doesn't seem like a good order. Like, obviously, Kadir doesn't know about the whole Lanfear loves Rand thing.
No. Oh, no. No one sleep with Rand.
Don't do it, but that's what Kadir's literal order to Isandre is go do him.
And if it weren't for the maidens, maybe she would have succeeded. She would have succeeded in maybe, I don't know, kissing him or something. Yeah. But I don't really think that he's, bedding anyone, random lady.
But that's the thing, is that's Kadir's plan. It's you go bed Rand, and it's boom, you get all the information.
And she's boasted that she could have any man she wants.
Yeah.
And so he's like, you're slacking.
There we go.
Yeah.
Sounds like what a dark friend would say.
Maybe. So then we get a little bit about this conversation between Kadir and Isandre. Basically, Kadir has given orders for her to sleep with Rand, and she hasn't been successful. But she has been successful in sleeping with Natil.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Which actually made me think a little bit.
Yeah,
it made me go
oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Forsaken are just humans.
They are.
And
very
it's
literally.
Weird. It's weird for me to think about. It's kind of, It was just I guess he wants to sleep with a hot chick. I guess.
Did that just humanize the Forsaken for you?
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know they're human, but then at the same time, they're 3,000 years old.
But sort of.
Because I was thinking of Balthamel, who was a crusty turtle man.
He was near the outside of he felt the grinding of the wheel. Because he was near the edge.
The metaphorical wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. But Natil's all right.
Let's do it.
Cool. All he wants to do is play me stupid songs and make love.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Sounds like a good camping trip to me.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. Funny. But she's no, I have no information from him, and I can't get to Rand, so I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah, and it gets worse.
Yeah. So Kadir doesn't like that Asandre is straight up refusing to go to Rand anymore.
You don't say no to the masters.
To the mistress.
The mistress and the masters.
Yeah, and he's like, that's not something you can say. You can't say no.
Yeah.
And so it turns out that the maidens caught her tonight.
Yes.
And shaved her bald.
Everywhere,
and then beat her with, like, stinging nettles.
Yeah.
And
I had to look up what nettles were.
Oh, I know what stinging nettles are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're little pokey guys.
Yeah, they're not great.
And they sting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially, like, probably after you've been shaved.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. So she's all, like, red and terrible, but she's, like, sobbing, and she doesn't want to be turned over to Aviendha if she gets caught again.
Yeah.
And so he thinks about how she is broken.
Yeah.
And that means that she's useless now, and he knows, because he has broken people himself. And he knows the signs.
Yes, he does.
And this is where I went, this is a bad guy.
He's not a good guy.
And
this dark friend's evil.
I know.
Yeah.
But you got, like, your different tiers of dark friends.
That's fair, but
you
also,
got, like, who is that dark friend who didn't even, like, want to approach Rand and Matt? Pater? You know, you got your really low tier dark friends.
He said he was like a small town boy.
Small town dark friends.
Living in a lonely world type.
Yeah. Yeah, you got your different levels of dark friends.
Okay,
I think.
So you're ranking Pater pretty low.
Well, I don't.
It's rude towards Pater. He has big aspirations.
Yeah, maybe one day.
He said some rude things to Rand after Rand punched him in the face. If you recall.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, so there's for sure levels. Like, you don't become a Liandrin or a Kadir.
Sure.
You, like, are already that.
Where is Asandre on this scale of, like...
Asandre's like middle.
Mid
like, because there are some dark friends, I think, who are like, I would like some power, please.
Sure, yeah.
And then there are just, like, legit bad people.
Yeah.
Right? Like a Liandrin or a Kadir who started out bad and then became dark friends.
Right.
Like, there's a difference, I think. You know?
Yeah, what made you join NutriBoom in the first place? Kaboom!
Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
No.
We don't got time for that.
Okay. So this guy's bad. And then Kadir is like, what does Aviendha have to do with any of this?
This is good.
And so Sandra says that Althor has been betting her since Ruidian.
Yeah.
She spends every night with him, and the maidens think she will marry him, and they said if they catch me trying to sneak into his room again, they will bring me to her.
Yeah, and they told me what Aviendha would do to me.
Oh.
Which is like, okay, what are the maidens telling her that Aviendha is gonna do to her?
I don't know.
Because it's like, we know that Aviendha is not betting Rand. That's not happening.
No, but we know that she fucking hates Asandra.
Yeah, I mean, that fair.
So, like,
fair.
she would probably also
do some bad stuff.
Not bad stuff. Not Kadir bad.
No, not like, disintegrate your body in a bathtub.
No,
bad,
but I guess bad as in shave her and whip her with nettles.
Yeah.
But, like, they warned her.
Yeah, she needs to learn her lesson.
Like, they weren't at that point of punishing her.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's this weird...
At the beginning of this
It's a weird conundrum, because it's like any regular person would have stopped by now, but she's being, like, basically threatened with torture from the Dark One on the other side of it, so she has to, and the maidens are like, why doesn't she get it? Why is she still doing this?
Yeah.
Any reasonable person would have stopped by now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, well, you know what? But you can't feel bad, because, like, don't join the Dark Friend cult if you don't want to abide by the terms of the cult.
Fair.
Don't do it.
Okay. Especially when your only gift is being desirable by men.
Yeah.
That's, like, literally your purpose. And that's what you signed up for. That's what you brag about. That's what you tell people you can do with your sultry walking and your this and your that. And you tell Kadir, I can get any man I ever wanted.
Yeah, test it out. Rock a hairless body. See how it goes
first. This is my jam.
Yeah.
And, I mean, like, at least,
It's complicated. It's very complex.
It is. It's complicated.
Okay.
So, Kadir seems to accept the fact that Asandre isn't going to be able to get in with Rand. And he's like, you can probably still pry something out of Natil. And Sandra says that Natil isn't even going to want to look at her for days, and her hair is going to take forever to grow back. And
uh-oh.
Yeah, but listen, there is something somewhere in here that I didn't write down.
Okay.
But I remember reading it where Kadir says something about their masters and what they refer, like who they refer to masters. And it's basically people, like dark friends who are above you.
Yeah.
Right?
Anyone who's above you.
Anyone who's above you is a master. And so that brought me back to Leandrin and Lady Suroth.
Yes.
When they were like, our master.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, which Forsaken is that? But it might not be a Forsaken.
There we go. Okay, there's levels to it.
There's levels, and it might be different. Like, even if they have different masters, they could be like our master.
Yeah. So, and we've also gotten it from, like, Moghedien that any Forsaken can scoop up anybody.
Well, and even in this, Kadir's like, oh, Lanfear's already directing me. If another Forsaken left me this message, because the word chosen is very cryptic, so if this is for another Forsaken, I don't want to get crushed between two Forsaken.
Because you'll get squashed. Like, that's just how it is.
I don't want to work for two different ones, but if one comes to me, I have to work for them.
You can't say no.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay.
Tough situation.
Now, Isandre's in a tougher situation.
A little bit.
Because.
Not for long.
She's like sobbing. She doesn't want to go back to. Aw.
Sorry.
Too soon?
Okay.
So, I never really liked her very much.
I mean,
but I don't
think
like, she deserves this.
Bye, Isandre. Okay.
This is bad.
Let's get through it.
We haven't had a gruesome murder in a while.
Okay, let's get through it.
Isandre goes for the door.
Yep.
And Kadir is behind her, using the handkerchief spun in a cord to wrap it around her neck, and he starts strangling her.
Yes.
And so she's fighting, and he thinks back to how every time he kills a woman, he sees his sister.
Oh, shoot.
And then, at first, you're like, oh, he does sort of have a moral... Like, he's like, oh, he's picturing his sister.
It's like, oh, no.
Like, oh, no.
But it's like...
But it's because...
Picturing it for the wrong reason, man!
It's because he had to murder his sister.
Because she discovered what he was.
That he was a dark friend.
Yeah.
And he would have exposed him. And so he had to kill her.
Shoot.
Yikes.
And I mean, I get it. She was going to point the finger.
You get it?
So, like, you gotta kill... I mean, if you're
in it, you gotta be in it.
If you're in it, you gotta be 100% committed to the cause, right? Like, I get it. If she was gonna rat you out and I'm committed to the Dark One, then I get that you kind of have to kill your own sister. It's kind of like how
Jacob Carradine is like, oh, man...
Shoot,
don't kill all of my family, but I guess...
Here, I can offer up a cousin.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dedicated to the cause.
Okay.
Gross.
So, then... Now, I know you said Breaking Bad stuff.
Yes.
Because, like, we're going to have to dissolve her body in a bathtub.
That's what I was talking about. Like, that's the scene that almost made me not want to watch Breaking Bad anymore. It was the first
episode.
Yeah. Yeah. That was when we were like, I don't know if it's going to, like, I can't do this.
We watched it. We did. And you get numb to it, actually. It's the same with Scandal.
Yeah.
That's what I equated. I think this is definitely more Scandal because they literally cut up bodies to dispose of it.
I don't do well with that.
No, and Scandal was on like network TV.
Yeah, it's like, what's happening
after Grey's Anatomy? Like it.
It's like,
yeah.
What's the difference between them and a doctor cutting people? No, that's not the same. No. Okay.
So anyway, she's dead. He pulls out a butchering knife and is gonna dispose of her this way because it's difficult to dispose of an entire corpse.
Yeah. And
he starts humming to himself as he's working, and he's clearly done this before. Like, he knows
what he's doing. He's like an uber bad. He's like a bad guy.
He's a baddie.
He's killed a lot of people. He's done this before. Like, he's super not good. But I just wanted to say, just for the record, for props to RJ, it is very well written because when we actually read this scene, it's incredibly vivid.
It made me very uncomfortable.
But it's not grotesque. It's not the grotesque. But this is the thing. It's not like the blood spurting and the scene. It's the
says
imagery.
Though that he's gonna cut her up because corpses bleed less. Like, there is grotesque writing in here.
There is.
Don't say that there isn't.
It's not like a fully described scene. I like that he like cuts to the...
It is a fully described scene. I'm gonna wholeheartedly disagree with you.
Really?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. The way that he strangles her, her feet scraping on the floor, her hands scraping at him, and how he holds her there for a while, even after she's gone still. You want to tell me that that's not descriptive writing?
I'm saying it could be a lot worse, and he cuts off
Worse
the
than
scene.
that? I don't think so.
Okay, yeah, so I guess we can agree on different levels of grotesqueness.
Yeah,
then.
like, do you want it to keep going and the writing to show him chopping her up?
I'm just saying, I've read stuff where it does that, and this is very
agree.
tame in comparison.
Okay. Fine.
We gotta leave it where it is. That's how it is. Yep.
Fine. Now, these are pretty short chapters.
Yes.
I'm excited to read on.
Oh, you don't even know.
I know. Well, I do know.
Yeah.
That we are recording the next one as a video for our patrons.
Sure are.
Because they've requested my reaction.
Heck yes, they did.
So...
I really hope there's some good stuff in the next 2 chapters.
I'm looking forward to it. Are you going to tell me the next chapter?
Nope,
title?
not even. Yeah,
Ooh.
you can just go ahead and read.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Well then, I guess, with that being said, I'm going to say that before you go and agree to build an army for a bunch of Aes Sedai to storm the already existing White Tower and disrupt the entire world,
yeah,
I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
It's part of the pattern.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. Just as a reminder, we are having a sale over at our Patreon. We're giving it 2 months free. That's 16% off any annual membership. So if you've been thinking about supporting us or getting access to some of our excellent bonus content, now is the time to check that out over at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. And that is for the month of July only. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited by Dani, produced by Dani and Brett with Astaroth, Jamie Young, Jonathan Reese, Benjamin, Moltude, Mozyme, Megan Smiley, Passion Socks, and Cody Feltz, with music by Audionautics. Please remember to rate and subscribe. Definitely leave us a comment and find us on social media. You can find all of our information over at www.thewheelweavespodcast.com. Thank you again so much for listening. This really is part of the pattern.